Russell Westbrook has been one of the most exciting stars in the modern NBA, although his inability to win a ring has resulted in a lot of hate. But today he'll have a second chance because we're putting his career in reverse, meaning as a rookie he'll join the Denver Nuggets, eventually playing for all the teams that he's called home until he eventually ends up as a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder, all to see if he can win a ring in this reality and overcome the stat padding allegations to rewrite his own narrative. And immediately the start of his career would already present an opportunity to do just that, because he was joining the Nuggets team featuring Carmelo Anthony, one of the NBA's most prolific scorers, and a very strong supporting cast built around him, which meant the pressure was low on Russ as he was entering the league and he'd be enjoying some team success as just a rookie. The only problem being that much of his season would be spent on the bench. He was playing behind an already established all-star in Chauncey Billups, which would eat up most of his chances to get substantial minutes. Even still, Russ was making the most of his opportunities on the court, and as the team's sixth man, he was producing some respectable averages that would have an impact on the team's performance. And come the playoffs, his team would desperately need the help because they were facing an all-time great, Kobe Bryant, who was on a quest to win ring number 4. Of course, the spotlight of this series was the intense duel taking place between Carmelo and Kobe, much like real life, which in that reality, the Lakers were beating the Nuggets in 6 for a trip to the finals. But coming off the bench now, Westbrook had a chance to be the difference maker. He was giving Denver that scoring punch they needed while the starters were getting rest, as he played with a confidence uncommon from a rookie in a moment like this. Even his defense was a breath of fresh air, as he'd use his athleticism and size to match well against the Lakers stars. Without a doubt, Russ was making a noticeable difference as only a rookie in the spotlight of the conference finals and was quickly becoming a fan favorite during this series, but that would all be swept away from him in the blink of an eye, because the Nuggets would ultimately lose in a close 7-game series with the Lakers, advancing to the NBA Finals, and Westbrook would find himself in some new threads. Except that his new team was nowhere close to the level of the Nuggets. The Clippers' best players were a young Eric Gordon and the big man Chris Cape, which resulted in only 29 wins in real life, and with the addition of Russ in this reality, things weren't much better. But on the bright side, while there wasn't much success as a team, Westbrook would make huge strides personally. He was now a starter in his new home, and he was easily the best player in their roster, meaning the Brody had a complete green light to manage the flow of his team's offense. The major role shift was beyond beneficial to him, as his development as a player would be far accelerated and his hard work would pay off. Westbrook gets the most improved player award. I don't think anyone's ever won this on any of the videos on my channel. I could be wrong there, but he definitely deserved it. Very good season from Westbrook. And the very next season, he was locked in to continue pushing his game as he was working on his craft all off season, which was paying off early because his stats were skyrocketing from the previous years. He was doing practically everything on the court for his team. He was the team's floor general and took on the responsibility of getting his teammates involved. Yet when it was needed, he was an eager scorer, which he would also lead his team in. But his roles as the starting PG weren't stopping there either. He would also be one of his group's leading rebounders, which was a big help for pushing the pace and getting out on the break. In just a single year, Russ was changing the culture here with the Clippers, and come mid-season, he helped them gain one of the best records in the West. But the Clippers were about to shock the world. Out of nowhere, they were sending their top player to the Lakers in a trade. But luckily for Russ, he was now joining a much better team. Major upgrade for Russ. He has a lot of talent now. Didn't make sense for the Clippers to trade him, but what do you expect from one of the most poverty franchises in NBA history? Of course, Kobe Bryant needs no introduction. We witnessed firsthand how great he was just 2 seasons ago as he was defeating Russ. At this point in his career, he was still arguably the best player in basketball, and things were about to become much easier for him, because Russ was taking full advantage of once again having a star teammate who could score the ball. When he played with Melo, he was an inexperienced rookie, but now after his time with the Clippers, his game expanded, and before our eyes, one of the league's brightest duos had formed. The Lakers' backcourt were playing off each other's strengths, and their chemistry formed quickly. Not to mention, when you also add a deep bench and Pau Gasol into the mix, you end up with one of basketball's scariest teams. And come the playoffs, they were showing us why, as they were easily winning both rounds 1 and 2 in the West, turning themselves a spot in the Western Conference Finals, where they'd be matching up against Dirk Nowitzki, who undoubtedly was one of the best bigs in the NBA. It would not only beat the Lakers in real life this season, but also be crowned champions when it's all said and done. And in this reality, the German native was just as big of a threat of defeating defending champions here. Although the threat would be quickly put to rest, with it becoming obvious that Westbrook was the missing link for LA to outlast Dallas. His athleticism was too much to handle for the Mavericks, and Russ would be a key factor in winning the series after 6. But as they prepare for a finals trip, Westbrook's athleticism was about to be matched. Before we get into the finals, we have to talk about the sponsor of today's video, 1v1me. 1v1me is a platform that lets you watch your favorite gaming streams and stake matches between the best players in the world for a chance to win some money. For example, you can start by finding a match on, say, NBA 2K25, like this one between Blix and StagePeace playing 3v3 with their My players, and of course you can see all their stats before staking. I'm gonna pick Team Blix, which means my payout could be over $30. And so far, 1v1me has paid out over $50 million in winnings, so there is a lot of money that you can potentially win. I've been playing for weeks now, and I look forward every day to checking what matches are going on and trying to win some money. And with over 175 matches happening a week, there is always something to stake on. Just keep in mind, you have to be 18 or older to stake. So if you want to get on the action, go to 1v1.me/Allen, link down below in the description, and use code Allen to get $10 added to your first stake. But keep in mind that code is only available for a limited time. So go ahead, download 1v1me now, make sure you use code Allen at sign up, get that additional $10, and you can get started today. Thanks again to 1v1me for sponsoring this video. Huge shout to them. Now let's see if Russ can get a ring. Derrick Rose had helped his Bulls defeat the Big Three Heat, and they were amped for a chance at a ring. In the series that were leading up to the finals, Russ was able to outperform other teams with his elite athleticism, but that wasn't the case here. Rose was the most explosive guard this sport has ever seen, and it showed with him winning the MVP this season. He was an incredibly difficult matchup to guard. In every game in the series, he put up huge numbers to lead his team, and he was leaving Russ in the dust. Thankfully, though, the Lakers' #1 star was still Kobe, who was appearing unstoppable even against the #1 ranked defense in the NBA. Before we knew it, he would lead the Lakers to a strong 3-0 lead, and even though Rose was able to save his team from the sweep by winning Game 4, in the end, the Lakers were coming out on top as NBA champions, officially completing Westbrook's goal of winning his first ever ring. And with Kobe winning the Finals MVP and clearly having some left in the tank, this might not be Russ's last. Because in 2012, the Lakers were still scorching hot come the playoffs, taking over in the first round to win the series in 4, going into the second round where they'd survive a tough, gritty series but ultimately win, until eventually in the conference finals, they were fighting their way to the top of the basketball world again, earning the Lakers' 5th straight finals trip. But before we talk about that, we have to rewind to the regular season. After winning a ring, Westbrook was motivated to keep the success rolling. Many players get complacent after winning it all, but for Russ, he was coming into the year with a chip on his shoulder. His game was continuing to push to new heights, and his full potential was being tapped into with the mentoring from Kobe. Year 4 was looking to be the brightest year yet of his young career, and he was far ahead of his trajectory in our reality because he was 5 years ahead of earning an MVP. Didn't expect the MVP this fast for Russ, but I mean, he's closing in on averaging a triple-double, which at this point in time was like beyond unheard of. Guys like Luka Doncic, Russ, James Harden, Jokic weren't out here getting triple-doubles like crazy like this. So this is huge, but now he's back in the finals. I think the bigger story here is, can he go ahead and repeat for another championship? But waiting in the finals was their biggest test yet, with the Big Three out in Miami. LeBron was still looking to get his first ring, and Wade was still a legit star in this league. The Lakers had home court advantage to kick this series off, but it wasn't mattering whatsoever, with Miami promptly winning both matches on the road and followed it up with another exhibit of dominance in Game 3. But with the risk of going down 3-0 looming, Bryant was mustering up his biggest game of the year to keep his team close, but we'd have to wait to see if it mattered. Russ and the Lakers are currently in a tricky situation, down 2-0 in the series. If they lose this, it's going to be almost impossible to come back down 3-0. So this is big. They're up by 2 though. On defense, they need to stop Dwayne Wade. Pull in, and it rims in for him. Game all tied up now with 80 seconds left. That did not last long that they had that 2-point lead. Russ with the ball now, the MVP. Mario Chalmers guarding him. You got to take advantage of this. This is a mismatch if you're Russell Westbrook. He's getting the screen from Gasol. Russ driving in and blows by Chalmers. His lane draws the foul and one. Russ did end up missing the free throw. I wasn't even ready to react to the free throw. I assumed you're an MVP. You're going to hit your free throw in the clutch, but he misses. Dwayne Wade now. Kobe Bryant him. Wade forcing the issue. A lot of content there from Kobe. It's a no call. Kobe the board. 52 seconds remaining. You can get the dagger here. Maybe it wasn't Kobe with the board because he has it now. Regardless, Kobe Bryant has the ball now. He gets to Russ, a pull-up. That was a crazy shot from Russ. Wade with it now. This time, Russ is guarding him. Wade is aggressive here in these moments. Pow to snatch block. They're pushing the pace. Russ to Kobe. The one open lane. LeBron James. That was a blocked by James moment right there. Pow in the corner. Russ, they still have a chance though. 9-second separation. Shot clock game clock. The spin move gets a wide separation. Russ gets fouled. Westbrook missed the first free throw. Here in the clutch, he has missed 2 free throws so far. The third one that he's attempted is finally good. Gives him a 3-point cushion. Westbrook split the free throws, coming up a little bit short in the clutch. Nonetheless, though, they have a 3-point lead, so there's no way Miami can take the lead here with the last shot. Inbounded to LeBron James. LeBron driving it on Brown. He's way too strong. Scores the quick 2. Shannon Brown did sink both free throws, but Miami still has time. But about 18 seconds remaining, down by 3. A lot of time left. You can even go for the quick 2, to be honest. To get it down low to Bosch. Wade, the mid-range, a step in front of the 3. It's off. Pau Gasol with the board. Brown to the line again. Brown does hit both. Miami is out of timeouts. They're going to have to go quick. 5-point game. There's enough time if they go quickly here. LeBron from deep. LeBron, it's off. Gasol gets it. That is going to do it. The Lakers win game 3. Following the potentially season-saving win in Game 3, the Lakers found a new level of confidence and determination to push through the rest of the season. The games that followed were nothing short of amazing from the MVP. He'd captivate fans with highlight after highlight as he was on his way to bolstering his resume some more. LA was winning 4 games straight to close out this series, winning Russ his 2nd championship, but more importantly this time around, he was winning the Finals MVP, proving that he could be the #1 guy on a winning team. And while it's now clear Russ isn't just a stat patter, he still had more he wanted to prove. He'd be leaving in free agency the following year in an attempt to show he can win without Kobe by his side, now joining John Wall, a young explosive PG in DC. Frankly, the 2 guards placed out were very similar, and it would result in some very exciting highlight plays. Russ would continue to put up some major numbers, even though he didn't get another MVP this year. But come the playoffs, their team wasn't deep enough to overcome Miami, who would be getting revenge on Russ, which sent Westbrook to a new home yet again, where he'd now be joining an all-star James Harden. Their fit together was very similar to the fit Russ had with Kobe, and as such, they'd find a lot of success in the regular season, as Russ had yet another great year with one of the West's top records. But history was repeating itself for Westbrook, because in the playoffs again, he was being shut down by another contending team that just had their roster built up a bit better. Westbrook lost a really close one to the Warriors here. The Rockets were actually up 3-1 at one point, and they ended up blowing it. The Warriors, Steph Curry, are overcoming Russ, and from here, things get interesting, because from here on out, it's his time with the Oklahoma City Thunder. The next several years would go as we know in our reality, with Russ dazzling the world with triple-doubles on a nightly basis and earning an MVP, until eventually he'd be traded from OKC after Damian Lillard put an end to the Thunder as we knew it. But now with him sticking it out, he'd be there during their down years, which included a ton of losing for years, with some of the worst records until 2024. With the rise of SGA playing at a near MVP level, OKC was taken off to new heights, and the pairing of Russ and SGA blended together beautifully, even though the season would fall short in the playoffs to the defending champion Nuggets. But for Russ, with one more year left, there was hope to win OKC a ring. The last year for Russ, and it should be a good year. He's got a great team. The Thunder just added Alex Caruso to the team. Russ himself is a much higher overall in this reality than he is in the real life reality that we all know. He's doing great here at the last final stretch. He might not have as big of a role as he did back with like the Lakers or maybe with the Rockets or the Wizards, but he's gonna play a role for this team, and I imagine they're gonna make it pretty far. And I was right, because they were in the conference finals after a really solid year from Russ, and here against the Dallas Mavericks in the conference finals, Russ was finally headed back to the NBA finals. Now the final hurdle for bringing a ring to OKC was the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis and Dame. This would be reminiscent of Westbrook's early days on the Nuggets, playing a set role and trying to be a difference maker in the playoffs as his star teammates clash with the opponent. And in what could be one of the biggest moments of his career, they may need him late. We are at the end of Russ's career. He has a chance here in the finals to win a ring, the most special one for him, getting it with OKC. We all know what that means to Russ. Dame Lillard driving in though. They need to outlast the Bucks if they're gonna try to win game 1. Lillard to the line. As you'd expect, Dame does hit both free throws. Tied game now with just under 90 seconds remaining. SJ is gonna be our main star here. Russ has been playing his role so far. They get a moving screen on Dame. Wow. I was actually a little confused at first. I almost never see that. As I was saying, Russ has been happy playing his role. He's going to play defense here. He's going to be big down the stretch trying to stop Dame. I don't see Giannis on the court. He might be fouled out. Dame pulls it from deep. He does it at OKC again. On the other end of the court now, Russ has it. They're down by 3 now. Westbrook with the ball in the pick and roll is getting it to Shea there in the low post. I saw it coming. SGA in the post. A quick turn around. It's rimming around and it sinks in finally. 1 point game now. They need a stop. Russ needs to come up big. Getting a stop on Damian Lillard. He has a history versus the Thunder. Dame driving in. Russ not letting him get any space. Another tough 3. That one's off the board from SGA. Pushing the pace now. Wiggins has it. He's gonna slow it down. Chris Middleton, he's trying to force the issue. He gets the SGA straight through Trent's body. SGA trying to force the issue. Rebound bouncing around. Prince gets it. The Bucks win it now. 28 seconds left. 10-second different shot clock, game clock. Brook Lopez, you of course have to get into Damian Lillard. Dame, the step back move. Russ defending Damian Lillard in the biggest moment of his career. Dame, Russ, great D. It's off Russ, the board timeout. 16 seconds left, down by 1. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. SGA with the ball. Home court advantage. What's he gonna do? Sauce it up Trent. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. SGA, he's holding for the last shot, it looks like. SGA coming off the screen. The pull-up midi. It's off. It rims out. It rims out. 0.4 left in the clock. They need a miracle. There's just enough time for a jump shot that can get a quick 3. Who's the hero gonna be? Is it gonna be Russ? It's Wiggins. He didn't even get it off in time. Oh, they lose game 1. Wow. And while game 1 was close, the rest of the games weren't. Of course, due to SGA and his brilliance, who was making up after choking late. He was leading OKC through a dominant sweep in the finals, and even though it was shy receiving the finals MVP, as we all knew he would, it was still one final ring to conclude Russ's career. And this one being in OKC made it special.